Hello everybody, welcome in for a little bit of Stormgate content today. I'm Algorithmore as always, and this is still GameFriend. He had to fly away right while I was introducing him. As he does, he is playing Celestial, as you can see, and landed his Archship here to make a little wall. That's an interesting little development. He's got another Archship in the back here, but let me introduce his opponent and your friend. It is Hiya, or HYY. GameFriend told me his name is pronounced Hiya, and so for months and months and months, that's what I've been calling him. And right now we can call him the Command Post Expert. For he has made 3 command posts. Well, you start with 1, you know, that's how the game works. You start with 1, a few servos, they do the mining. Then you can build more if you want, and you do more mining. And you can build more if you want, do more mining. And then, well, at some point you should probably build some other buildings. In this case, it will be a barracks for the Vanguard faction, which helps you build your Lancers, your Exos, and a few other units later on in the game. We can see here, oh, it's actually a scout coming out. I forget about those little puppies, but yeah, you can put your scout down. What's going on for GameFriend? GameFriend's got a creation chamber coming out, a second one that is, because there's already an Argent on the map, and it's a treasonous Argent who shoots at his own creation chamber, the chamber which created him. This mine is up and saturated. This one's saturated too. We got 5 prisms on the Therium. So these bases are up, and it looks like the Archship's ready to go get another one. But there's a scout out. The scout's out scouting. That's what scouts do. It's right in their name. 2 Argents on the wall, nice, blocking the scout from getting in. Another scout out here, but decides to go home.
A Stormgate will activate soon.
I should mention this game is being played out on Scarlet Isle. If I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was made by Ariel. Ariel Stormgate, who's one of the members of our community who's made a handful of maps, map maker, also a tournament organizer, also a fairly skilled Celestial player. You may have seen a few of his games on my channel or elsewhere. And so this is an interesting map. I think it may be featured in the map contest tournament on the weekend. We won't know until the results of the map contest are over, and you can go vote on them. Now that I say that, I don't know what day this video is actually launching on my YouTube. If the voting is over, then you can't vote on them. Apologize for that. But if the voting's not over, go vote. And who knows, maybe the tournament will have also already ended by the time this video launches. In any case, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy it or have enjoyed it. And if the Scarlet Isle won the map making contest, then congratulations to Ariel. That Stormgate was an easy claim for GameFriend. He got one of the Faerons, a popular reward. Here come the hedgehogs, the hedgy hoggies. My friend Rushy called them hedgy hoggies, so now I don't feel like I can't call them that anymore. I was told, please don't do that by some viewer. Said, that's not a good name. But aren't they really hedgy hoggies? Aren't they cuter in the hedgy hoggy land? We've got a fairly aggressive forward up by the wellspring there. We got the Archship. In come the Argents, the hedgehogs, hoping to put on a little defense here. Ooh, one goes down in the retreat. But for the moment, GameFriend's pulling out. A couple servos join, and the Argent's moving back to, well, it changed to an Energizer node. Very curious. There's an Aeon Gate here. And there's now an Aeon Gate going down in the main, which means Hiya has to go and be like, no, please don't Aeon Gate my main. And that gives GameFriend enough opportunity to be like, hey, do you need this mech bay for anything? Oh, you do? Sorry. Sorry, guys. It's gone now. Scouts and Hedgies trying to do some damage, and some weird pathing for the Argents means a few of them go down. And the GameFriend is backed up against his Energizer nodes. He seems to be doing alright, but decides, no, I'm going inside the Aeon Gate, and there is another Aeon Gate going in the main. They are targeting the Aeon Gate. Now, wait a second. Is there another Aeon Gate? There usually is. Okay, good. So they didn't die, but now they're going to come out in the main. Any second here. Almost done. Rallied up. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. And the Hedgehogs were already there, which was good. And I don't think the Argents are, going to do any better here than they were going to do out there. GameFriend agrees and retreats, but fun little tactic. Did claim a mech bay. Haya decided to expand in the middle of that, so Haya was like, whatevs. Another
a Stormgate has appeared.
Aeon Gate there. Now we're going to get this Aeon Gate taken down. That's easy kill. Aeon Gate in the main again. Unit's going to pop. Pop, pop. Units pop out. This time they get out a little better. If they can get a good concave on this wrap, they might be able to defend it. Hedgehogs move down. Argents push back in and cancels on the power banks. Or Grace Light nodes. So I believe what they are summoned in as now. So GameFriend's been pretty aggressive, which has been interesting. I don't know. I don't think that he's sort of got ahead. I mean, supply-wise, he certainly hasn't. And at this point, a bunch of units coming across. Some of the units going in the behind. In the behind, that's what we call it. And they were going there to destroy the Argent reinforcements that were coming in and get some of these Energizer nodes, apparently. While the rest of the forces are taking out the Stormgate, so GameFriend's aggression has put him in a precarious position now. But he's got some Gracelight nodes here, and he's got an Energizer node, so he might be able to fight in his Static D and do alright, although actually there's a lot of Hedgehogs here. And picks up an Arc Ship, but I don't think he's got enough. Faerun, I didn't even know the Faerun was still alive. I thought she had died, but I guess she popped in the Aeon Gate. We have the Sabers on the left, but we also have Sky Hunters coming in, and that's going to be GG from GameFriend. Alright, we're back in another game. This is, again, GameFriend. And, again, he's playing against Haya. What's going on here? They're practicing because they're playing a couple tournaments this weekend. These tournaments will be played on custom maps, not on the ladder maps, and that's because one of them is Ariel's tournament that's been playing custom maps since last patch. And the second one is the map making tournament, which is hosted by myself and Frank Sriracha and Beowulf, as well as Frost Giant got in on it. It's one big happy community pie. And they're practicing for those tournaments, and if those tournaments have probably already happened. So maybe you enjoyed them. If not, go check them out on VODs. And this map, like the last one, is a map that has been designed by our friend Ariel. It's an interesting map. Has some interesting little pieces to it. It's got some nice doodads, as they call it, to make it look pretty. I don't think these trees can be knocked down. They're just decorations. Excuse me. There's an Arculus, is what I've apparently learned it's called from the campaign. Spoilers! Spoilers! If you haven't played the campaign, it's very fun. really enjoyed all the missions, especially the back half. I played the front half 3 times already, and the 4th time when the game released. But I'm just about finished the last mission. I'll save that one for tomorrow morning or later this weekend for fun. And then I'll probably play through again, try different builds. Been pretty cool. Scouts doing harass. Ooh, will they be able to get... Like, one thing we've learned is prisms are actually pretty tough now. Don't mess with the prisms, yo.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
I apologize. My cat is, well, doing what cats do. And that's wonderful because I love her. There is a Stormgate happening down here. What's going on?
A Stormgate has appeared.
Maybe he's going to try and do that Aeon Gate thing again. But he's under the harass from HYY, who's got a couple pups hanging out in the healing. No one's going for the Stormgate. HYY is still harassing the front. Lots of scouts. I don't know if scouts are the right choice versus Argents, although they did alright there. Maybe it's just an early game thing that Haya does. He has... he seems to be in Hedgehog production though. No, he's still making scouts too. And I have seen scouts be fairly effective tanks. And maybe that's his idea here. Is they tank the shots and that allows the hedgehogs to go in and snipe some Argents. Although I think the numbers right now are in GameFriend's advantage, especially even the literal numbers. He's up by 20 supply. But you see here, even if the hedgehogs can come in and kind of snipe an Argent, although, what's going on? Yeah, why are they not fighting? You can snipe an Argent, there's enough Argents there to really fight back. You can't spend a lot of time engaged with that ball. It takes a lot of micro to put damage on that when you're, even though you've got these fast units, you still want to have the numbers. Now, where did the old Argents go? Oh, wait, there's an Aeon Gate. There's an Aeon Gate. Okay. But there's a bunch of Morph Cores now. Aeon Gate's gonna go down. Morph Cores just chilling, I guess. And he's like, well, yeah. You did kill that, but I'm just gonna remake it. Yep, got all these Morph Cores here, gonna morph them up. Okay, Argents all rallied right where they popped out. Nope, they're all going inside the gate. And the creation chambers are gonna go down. But there are wait a second, that's not what he wanted. A few of the Argents came out of the wrong gate. They're marching across the map. They might be able to give a little flank, I guess. Although right now it's toe-to-toe. Saber in the back is helping a bit, and here comes the flanking Argents, but nope, too late. Flanking Argents actually get torn to pieces as they walk through the gauntlet. That could be it, actually.
Dimensional rift detected.
These hedgehogs are winning the day. Prisms are pulled. They ain't no servos, but they're pretty tough. Unfortunately, need a little better focus fire there because there were a bunch of weak hedgehogs, and they could have been focused down.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Now we're getting some better control from GameFriend. And actually, GameFriend is managing to hold here. Seem to have lost quite a bit there, and I'm not gonna say he's like won the game or anything, but has managed to hold on to this and might be able to, although this new Stormgate might go down here. Stormgate, Stargate, whatever it is. What are these things? Star Forges. I don't even know what they're called anymore. Stormgates. This Stormgate is a Star Forge. Here's a Stormgate. Have they even gone for any of the Stormgates yet this game? I don't think so. Adjudicator node takes out the sensor drone. But on the front lines, all the Argents are dead. Where are all the units? They're over here. Adjudicator nodes are also here. And this base somehow manages to stay in terms of the collection array. And okay, now Haya's gonna go to this base. This will be an easy clear now. And cool, turned into more forts. The base itself's gonna go down. The arc ship moved over here. And this is a pretty cool two-pronged thing GameFriend's got going on. He has been able to at least get some damage done to pay back for the kind of damage that he took. Uses the mass accelerator, gets into the Aeon Gate, and pops right back out again. The cool thing about the Aeon Gate is you can micro in and out of it. Actually, I'm not sure if the new one's been changed or not. But there we saw a little micro in and out of the gate. And sabers happen to work pretty well with this kind of harass. And look at this. We got a base going on over here. As well as a base going on over here. And a sensor drone over here. I'm just looking for bases. But we got bases over here. We got base. You like bases? We got bases. What kind of bases you want today? We got lots of base. We got Celestial base. We got Vanguard base. We got a lot of med techs there. A lot. And a lot of sabers over here. It's a curious and interesting transition. Now, okay, there's a couple sentry posts there preventing another Aeon Gate. Here we're going to try and break the Aeon Gate. This is a curious choice. They go inside. They try and micro in and out. But they tried that once and decided, nope, not anymore.
A Stormgate.
I don't blame them. They're fully surrounded. So this position finally breaks. And uh-oh, arc ship, prisms.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Stormgate has appeared, but let's be honest. That's just the name of the game. No one here is playing that. Everybody here is playing let's kill each other real fast. Are there Stormgates on the map? Possibly. Could I win something from them that might help me? Yes. But you know how I really win the game? Killing bases. So I'm going to try and kill this base right here. Interesting maneuver there from HYY, who was killing the Aeon Gate there, but then switched to move towards the Adjudicator nodes, and I think part of that was a little bit of bait. Hoping that maybe units would come out of the Aeon Gate. If that happened, you can then snipe the gate, and then those units would be trapped. That was my guess. Maybe it was on his mind as a possibility. Didn't happen. Sabers trying to capture. Oh my goodness. They turned to fight. They were so close to capturing the Stormgate. That really is a Stormgate. They really were fighting over it. And that's a nano defense bubble, which makes the Sabers considerably less effective. Another one popped. It reduces their attacks by 75%. Which you see all the units just reposition in there because they're like, hey, if I'm in there, I'm safe. New one goes up. Of course, these are cast by the Sentinels above those little sci-fi looking spaceships. Let me in, yells GameFriend with a GGGGG. Alright, welcome back. we are going to have a third game. And this time they swapped factions. Because I think HYY wanted to show him how you're supposed to do it, I guess. I'm not sure, or vice versa. Maybe GameFriend thinks this is the way to win. So he's playing Vanguard this time, and HYY is playing the Celestials. And HYY has gone for the second arc ship. Just watching a bit of the Korean tournament, and Bayo was commenting how the Koreans were going different. Korean Celestials were experimenting with a different opening build. American Celestials have kind of converged on this opening, which is double arc ship. And that's because while you're flying your arc ship, you don't get prisms, and you want to keep making prisms, and this gives you double prism production, as we see here. Lots and lots of prisms, gets you saturated real fast. And because of the current celestial eco state, which is that it's not, they're not gathering as fast as they were intended to be, means that this allows you to kind of get back in the game. The celestial eco is not gathering as fast as it is intended to be, but it is ramping up incredibly fast compared to the other factions. So if you let the Celestial get a few bases ahead of you, they will be really, they will have lots of resources. Nice prism pulls here from HYY, showing how to handle the harassment with the new prisms. Prisms are pretty tough. If you've seen my Prism Cheese video with Sergeant Duck, you'll know that prisms are pretty tough. Prisms are pretty tough. Arc ship lifts off. Interesting. It wasn't low, but may have lifted off just to prevent going down. Remember, the old collection arrays took a while to lift off, so it's possible that it's not yet in the muscle memory to say, hey, how long can the arc ship last before I need to, lift it off? Although the arc ship's going for a little flight, and there's a creation chamber there, so maybe, just maybe,
rift detected.
that was all
a
just
Stormgate will activate
on
soon.
purpose, and I'm just speculating about something else there. Stormgate activated, first Stormgate of this game. GameFriend playing the dog hog meta that we saw Haya playing. And getting in, and boom, jumping on top of an Argent. Gonna get another one. Really, now we're seeing it. The dogs are kind of like Lings. They're just always on top of the units, always getting some damage done. And that makes them, I guess, pretty effective against Argents that want to fight back. Stormgate taking the damage. One scout going out. Is that a rallied scout or is that a scouting scout? I think it may have been. Just to check, is anyone going to come and harass me? And no one was. What are we going to get? Feyren? No, we get a Soul Forge. And we see right away the Soul Forge was used on the hedgehogs and gave you 2 hedgehogs. If you use it on a low enough supply unit, it will give you 2 instead of 1. And here we go, pretty nice harass on this base. And Haya is definitely trying to get ahead with the eco. That base got taken out. Now remember, the creation chamber there costs nothing. And by creation I mean collection. Those guys always get me. Creation chamber, collection array. Collection array costs nothing. So the arc ship just needs to land again. The arc ship has not landed. But there we go. That's what I was wondering. Is, are the hedgehogs going to come back and actually take care of that arc ship? Does move to safety. Kree rolling in. This could be some danger right now. Although the servos, there's a fast enough reaction from GameFriend. They turn to fight. Although many of them are low. The rest are on heal hugs. few of them going down right now, but Kree also going down. And for the moment, let's count this as half successful harass. Actually, at this point, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Considering there's only a small number of Kree there. More Kree trying to roll in. These ones dying on the way as they run into the hedgehogs. One or two might make it by. The poor servos are like, no, we just survived one attack. So they're going to try and get a static D, a little sentry post up. Kree rolling out. There is an engage going on over here. And GameFriend doing a pretty good job of holding off the Kree right now. Although it's worth noting that GameFriend's on 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one base ahead for Haya. At the moment that hasn't really translated into that much of a supply lead, although there is one. And the hedgehogs are doing a pretty good job of kiting off the Kree and picking off 1 or 2 here and there. We now have 2 healing turrets, which means repair-o-matics technically, healing for the hedgehogs, of course. Hedgehogs all healed up. What's this? Prisms. This, I love this. You do not need to drop off anywhere. If you need Therium as a Celestial, you can just mine from anywhere on the map. That's a base. Just send your prisms there. Every Therium is a base. Just send your prisms there if you need Therium. It's a super new advantage or buff of the Celestials that I don't think has really been... it's sort of a subtle buff, so it's hard to notice its impact or even to anticipate it, but this is great. Now the arc ship is moving over there and is going to mine there too. It looks like it will be a traditional base, but those prisms are all mining for free over there. Mining for free. Hedgehogs trying to deal with the Kree. There's one buzzsaw turret. That's interesting. Sort of some dedicated defense. This is a forward base, so it makes sense to have some dedicated defense there. Barracks is also forming part of the wall. The Stormgate is left unattended. Don't leave your Stormgates unattended, my friends. If you do, you don't know what will happen. Maybe your planet will be invaded by a race of demon space people. Because that's what happened to Earth, okay? Let what happened to Earth be a lesson to you to not just leave your Stormgates unattended. We get a Vile Lurker, and that could be pretty good for GameFriend if he starts to put some pressure on now. He is a little behind on supply. Now, Haya is just like, oh boy, let me get the bases going. Let me get the bases going. Now the problem is, he's got, what's that, 6 bases, almost all saturated. He is up by like 40 supply, but that's all prisms. It's like all prisms. Alright, Vile Lurker moving in here. Okay, this is an interesting situation because this is a base race situation. Kree's Ardent Sabers going for this third base here of GameFriend. This was a defensive position, but it's going to be taken out. GameFriend trying to do the same over here, leaving a small force to harass, take out prisms, and so on. Well, marching some of his force back. Hedgehogs coming in the back, getting on top of Sabers. Sabers do use mass acceleration to get out of there, and in fact, all of them kind of save themselves. And now this army from GameFriend is not enough to take out this army from Haya. A couple of Vulcans arrive, but the Sabers nuke them really quickly. And Haya's supply lead, which has come from his economic lead, is sufficient to at least force GameFriend back for the moment after the destruction of its third base. There is, of course, another third base up here, which was the fourth base. Third base going back up. And Stormgate appearing right inside Haya's base. There's nothing else we can say about that. Is this Stormgate is definitely in a very favored position for Haya to capture, and he gets a deep one. Ba 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 ba, big old deep one. Deep ones are fun. Who's gonna win, Vile Lurker or deep one? I think we know the answer there. So let's see. Let's watch the armory. The armies as they smash into each other. Are we gonna get a cancel? We get a reinforce going down on the command post. There's a lot of medtechs here which are misleading. They look like army, but they're not really, other than their nanoswarm potential. The Fjords got taken out by the Vile Lurker, and Haya is just walking back home. It's like I'm on 6 bases. I'm only at 236 supply, so might be losing, but you're not. You are up by 90. And it looks like he will be retaking his 6th base, although this base is already being taken. Another base being taken by GameFriend down here. But it's going to be detected just as it's about to complete here. And the deep one comes in to lay down some of its punishing attacks. And it's going to come here, and there's not much you can do about it here. Even if you focus fire, it's going to take you a while, and you're just going to be taking all this damage while you do that. You might be able to rely on that Vile Lurker to get a little bit of siege damage done, but look at this here. The deep one has taken some damage. It has 600 of 750. It's a beefy boy. Beefy boy. And yeah, I think it's saying I'm gonna go. I'm gonna max. We're gonna finish this off. It's gonna be max, or maybe not. Maybe he's gonna push in right now. Ooh, good Vile Lurker hit. Lots of arches going down. This could be a position where Haya could go for a flank. I'm not sure if his army composition is really a flank composition. Like, ooh, I'm gonna get sabers and flank you with them. But he didn't really need the flank. As he just pushes in there, there is a little bit of Atlas micro here, which is actually pretty helpful. But there's not much of an army other than the Atlases now. A few medtechs. The deep one and the sabers are starting to punish this third base again.
Will activate soon.
The Stormgate appears once again in Haya's base. Although it doesn't look like he's going to go for it this time, as he is destroying. Oh, there are Aeon Gates coming up over here. Yes, there are. This base is going down.
A Stormgate has appeared.
There's some supply, some sentry posts here that can help, but the Judicator nodes are probably going to win the day there. And it won't really matter because Haya is pushing into the main here, where GameFriend is trying to put on a desperate defense with his evacs. As it is, Haya is going to come up here to the 4th base, or what was the 4th base. A few sabers unfortunately caught on aggro, and they might get taken out here. But this base has been targeted, and ooh, I thought the army was turning to go help. Mass accelerators, boom! Nice nuke on a few units there. And its sides above now, that's going to help with some hornets and maybe go for that evac. But at this point, GameFriend is going to say GG in game number 2.